No long intro. Let's get into it. You bought a Chinese car. Smart move on the price, terrible move if you keep doing these 5 things. 1. You're treating fast chargers like they're free. Okay, this one's gonna piss some of you off, and that's fine. You roll up to the DC fast charger. 25 minutes later, you're at 80%. You grab a coffee, come back feeling like you hacked the system, but your battery hates you for it. Here's what's actually happening. Fast charging blasts power so hard and so fast that the lithium ions inside can't keep up. They don't reach the right spots. They just pile up on the surface. That's lithium plating, and it's permanent. Every fast charge, a little more capacity gone, which doesn't come back. Geotab tracked 22,000 real EVs. Heavy fast chargers losing 3% capacity per year, while home slow chargers 1.5%. And that's double just from where you plug in. And here's the thing about Chinese EVs specifically. A lot of the cheaper ones are still running NCM batteries, which are nickel, cobalt, manganese. Way more heat sensitive than BYD's newer Blade stuff. MG ZS EV owners, some of them lost 15% in 3 years. 3 years. On a 300-kilometer car, that's 45 kilometers just gone. 5 years of fast charging every day, and your battery's basically a college kid's bank account by month end. Empty. Nobody knows why. So here's the fix. Use your home charger and charge overnight. Slow and steady. That's what the battery wants. Fast charging, that's road trips and emergencies, not your Tuesday commute.
Oh, and make sure you stop at 80%. Seriously, because that last 20% is where all the heat damage happens. Most Chinese EVs let you cap it in the app. Go set it to 80 right now and leave it. That one setting buys you years. 2. Parking in direct sun every single day. Quick question. Where do you park? Outside? Full sun or no shade? Your battery's having a terrible time and it can't even tell you. Most people don't think about this because the car still drives fine, nothing looks wrong, so they park wherever and move on. But heat is quietly wrecking the battery every hot day. Cold weather affects EVs too. Range drops and charging slows down, but it's mostly temporary. Once the weather warms up, performance usually comes back. Heat is different. It causes permanent damage. When temperatures stay above 29 degrees Celsius for long periods, the battery's internal chemistry starts to break down, and that damage doesn't reverse. It just builds up over time. Data from Geotab shows that EVs in hot climates lose about 0.4% more battery capacity each year than those in milder conditions. It might not sound like much, but it adds up. After 5 years of constant heat exposure, that's like aging your battery an extra 2 to 3 years without doing anything at all. You want to see what heat really does? Look at the older Nissan Leaf. No liquid cooling, just passive air. In hot places like Arizona, those batteries degraded at about 4.2% per year. A Tesla from the same era with liquid cooling, around 2.3%. That's nearly double. Same generation, same time period. The difference is how the battery is managed. Your Chinese EV has cooling, but no cooling system fully protects a battery sitting in direct sun for 8 hours a day. Physics doesn't care about your warranty. Park in shade. Garage if you've got one. Use preconditioning. Cools the battery off charger power before you drive, not battery power. And after a long hot drive, give it 20 minutes before plugging in. Let it breathe. Small habits, big money saved.
3. Charging to 100% every night like it's a competition. Every time I say this, someone gets defensive. Why would I not charge to 100%? That's what charging is for. I get it. Waking up to a full battery feels responsible, smart, and it feels like you're getting your money's worth. Your battery chemistry doesn't care how smart you feel. Lithium-ion batteries, used in pretty much every Chinese EV, are stressed at the extremes. At 100% charge, the materials inside are under more strain. And if the car sits at full charge overnight, that stress continues the whole time. So while you're asleep, the battery is still slowly wearing down. Think of a rubber band. Stretching it is fine. That's what it's for. But if you stretch it all the way and leave it there every night for 2 years, it stops snapping back. It loses its elasticity. Your battery cells behave the same way. Running the battery down to 0 isn't good either. Deep discharges put a different kind of stress on the cells. Over time, recovery gets harder and the damage adds up. The ideal range is 20% to 80%. In that zone, the cells are under less stress and age more slowly. Most Chinese EVs let you set this limit. Go into the settings, set the charge limit to 80%, and the car will stop there automatically. Charge to 100% when you actually need it. Got a long trip tomorrow? That's fine. But don't leave it sitting at 100% for hours before you leave. For everyday use, 80% is the number. Treat it like something valuable because it is. 4. Ignoring software updates like they're spam. Be honest. There's a software update sitting on your car screen right now that you've been ignoring for 3 weeks, isn't there? Yeah, this one's for you. It feels like nothing, just an annoying pop-up. You ignore it, hit remind me later, and drive off. But in a Chinese EV, the software is the engine, not just a part of it. It's what actually runs the car. Inside your car is the battery management system, the BMS. It controls everything. How the battery charges, how it delivers power, how it handles heat, and how it protects itself. It's making thousands of decisions every second. When that software is outdated, all those decisions are based on old logic, the same logic the manufacturer has already fixed. But your car never gets those fixes if you keep hitting remind me later. And the risks are real. Outdated BMS software has led to charging systems pushing past safe limits because the system didn't know when to stop. There have been documented cases linked to battery fires, what they call a thermal event. There's an upside too. Updates often improve range, cooling, and battery accuracy. Some drivers have gained an extra 10 to 15 kilometers of range after a major update. Nothing changed physically. The software just got better at using what was already there. If your car supports automatic updates, turn them on. If not, check manually once a month. Treat your car's software like your phone's. You wouldn't run a 2-year-old system on something you use every day. Your car deserves at least that level of attention.
5. Treating a machine like it maintains itself. This last one is a mindset problem, and it's sending people to the mechanic with bills they never saw coming. Here's what happens. You buy a Chinese car. Big screen, smart features, over-the-air updates. Feels like a gadget. And somewhere in the back of your head, without realizing it, you start treating it like one. Gadgets don't need oil changes. Gadgets don't need coolant flushes. Cars do. Even Chinese ones. Especially Chinese ones. If you're driving a Chinese hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or petrol model, listen up. Most common engine in budget and mid-range Chinese cars, 1.5-liter turbo. That turbo runs extremely hot. The oil protecting it breaks down faster in that heat than regular oil would in a non-turbo car. Old, degraded oil in a turbo engine doesn't just stop lubricating. It starts causing internal damage. Tiny scratches on metal surfaces, building up every kilometer. Can't hear it, can't see it, but mechanics who work on these cars have documented 100,000 kilometers. Engines where oil changes were just delayed, not even skipped, showing early sensor failures, ignition coil problems, oil leaks that had no business appearing at that mileage. Then there's the cooling system. This is an expensive lesson. When an engine overheats, it doesn't just stop working, it warps. The metal bends out of shape. The cylinder head warps. The head gasket blows out. In bad cases, the engine block itself cracks. Repairs start at $3,000 and go up from there, all because you skipped a $30 coolant top-up 6 months ago. That's what should really make you mad. Electric car owners, this applies to you too. Your battery has its own cooling system. Special fluid flows through the battery pack to keep the temperature steady. That fluid wears out over time. If you never replace it, your cooling system slowly stops working as well. Then all the heat damage from earlier, it starts happening inside your car, even when you're parked in the shade.
One more thing about fuel. Some Chinese turbo engines say regular fuel is fine on paper, but mechanics who actually work on these cars every day, they found the engines last longer on higher octane fuel. Regular fuel in a hot turbo engine causes pre-ignition. The fuel explodes at the wrong time. Over thousands of kilometers, that quietly beats up the engine from the inside. No warning light, no noise, just slow, hidden damage that one day becomes a very expensive problem. What to actually do? Get your car serviced on time. Change the oil every 7,000 kilometers if you have a Chinese turbo. Check your coolant once a month. If your manual says to service the battery cooling fluid, take it seriously. Spending $80 on maintenance today beats a $12,000 repair next year. Simple as that. Chinese cars are good value, but good value only lasts if you protect it. Share this with someone who just bought one. Drop a comment, tell me which of these 5 you are already doing. See you in the next one.